Nice to be with you today. I wanted to talk a little bit right now about the mandala and the mandala principle. This is something that's been very important to me. It was really what got me involved with Tibetan Buddhism now almost 50 years ago. Seems impossible, but it's happened. So I was drawn to the mandala through the cover of a book when I was 15 that had a Tibetan mandala on it. And then I went to India and met the Tibetan refugees who teach and practice meditation with the mandala. And so I really, over the years, have found this so important, as did the Western psychologist Dr. Carl Jung. He used it and wrote about it in terms of Western therapy, psychotherapy. So I'm going to show you a picture of a mandala. This is a mandala. And you can see it has a center and 4 directions, and then a circle around that. So the mandala has these 5 different aspects, the center and 4 directions. And each of those directions, including the center, has a meaning. And so when you do a mandala meditation, you actually literally place yourself in the middle of this. Only it's like this, and it's 3-dimensional. So the mandala paintings that we see that look 2-dimensional, like this, are actually 3-dimensional, and they represent a house, a mansion. And then within that mansion are different deities. So the way that it's taught most simply is there's 5 in the center, but there can be hundreds of deities in a mandala. But the important thing to me, and the powerful thing to me about the mandala, is how centering it is, how deeply rooted the practice makes you when you place your mind into the mandala, which is actually really interesting because most of the time our minds are pretty wild. They're like an untamed wild horse or a mad elephant or a crazy monkey. And so all meditation is a method, a way to bring ourselves out of that wildness, that uncontrolled randomness of our minds, into wholeness, into centeredness. Now, this could be done with the breath, for example, in mindfulness meditation. But when you take something like the mandala, it takes you into symbolic meaning. Each direction has a symbolic meaning, a color, an element, and so on. And that process of placing your psyche, your mind, into a template of wholeness, it's really hard to describe the effect of it, but Jung talked about it as healing the fragmented mind, the fragmented psyche. And he found that his patients, his clients in the mental hospital, would begin to draw mandalas when they were beginning to heal. And so he allowed the mandala to kind of come out of the psyche. The way we teach it in Buddhism, in the Tibetan path, is you place your mind in it, and you know the meanings of these different directions. And when you know the meanings and you're in the color, you're in the element, you're in the deity connected to each of those directions, it has a very transformative effect. And that's why it's called the path of transformation. That's the Tibetan path of Vajrayana. It's called the path of transformation because literally your mind becomes transformed. And so that's a little bit about the mandala. I'd like to tell you more about it, but I wanted to just give you a little bit of a picture of what I mean when I say mandala. So have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.